What's going on, guys? It's Greg Dies, and welcome to the STX Duel II review. Big shout out to the guys at Universal Lacrosse for sending us one down to check out. You can check the link in the description if you want to get one for yourself. This isn't going to be as much of a review as more of like a technical specifications overview. I don't face off. I'm pretty horrible at it. So if you want to see how this thing actually works in the field, you can go check out Greg Renlien's review, Jerry Ragonese's review, or Green Knuckles Lacrosse. They both have done a great job with a fully comprehensive performance review from a face-off guy. So I'll have those links down in the description if you want to go check them out. All right, so let's get into it. There is a lot new here. Back when the first Duel came out, it swept the market pretty quickly because it was one of the very first face-off specific heads, and it worked really well for that pinch and pop move everybody likes so much, but it did have some flaws, but even so persevered to, at one point at least, the top selling face-off head in all of lacrosse. But they really addressed a lot of those flaws here in the Duel 2. The main thing people were worried about in the Duel 1 was the scoop. It was just a little too thin with STX signature like scallop scoop design, and you know the thinness this way, so you want to go get a ground ball, you end up here with it, which is obviously no good, and ground balls are very important to face-off guys. So they added in the Duel 2 speed scoop, and they also filled in the scallop, so you can see here where they would be is just totally filled in plastic. They made it much thicker, much stiffer. You're not going to be able to roll this over if you want to. It's nice and rounded, and they've got that speed scoop design that has worked really well on some of their other heads. One thing I thought was kind of weird about the speed scoop is when they first launched it with the Stallion 700, it had this really deep channel with a lip that hung over the strings, which I really liked, and it extended much further. This speed scoop looks way different. It doesn't have that lip, and it kind of fades away as you go to the outside. So it was just interesting to see them change the speed scoop, and this is looking much more like a regular scoop. It still works really well. It's just kind of an odd note how much they've changed it from the very first speed scoop. The next big thing they wanted to fix is head wobble. So on the original Duel, they introduced a shorter throat and then a throat plug to keep it sturdy that helped you get your hand closer to the plastic. The issue here was it had a lot of head wobble, and it even wobbled on the Duel shaft, which it was specifically meant to fit on. There was already a lot of wobble there. You hear that? Terrible. So on pretty much every shaft, this wobbled. So now they have redesigned the throat plug, put some taper at the bottom so it can fit more snugly. They added screw holes to the sides of the head, 2 in the back, and they ditched that weird one that goes down where your hand was on the shaft because it was tearing people's palms up. So 4 screw holes going around the head, tighter throat fit, redesigned throat plug. I've been seeing in some other reviews some complaints about the way that this short throat was designed, how the taper is going this direction.
Like, what is going on here? Automatically minus 1,000 points. This is horrible.
It's angled differently, so it doesn't allow your hands to get as close to the plastic.
I did measure the throats at their deepest point are exactly the same length, so you're still going to have your hand just as close to the head as you always did with the Duel 1. I think Green Knuckles Lacrosse said it is like your hand's still going to be in the same spot, but you just feel teased by all this extra space that you can't really use with your hand anyway.
Okay, but don't tease us with this. If you needed 2 screws to be this far out, make it straight.
So at the end of the day, still the same short throat. Some people did think it was kind of odd to taper it this direction though. As far as face shape and flex, this one's obviously very work, but it's very similar. Nice straight up design with a really high flare. The design is very similar overall in sidewall struts. They did change some of the geometries, and overall it does feel a little bit stiffer than the original Duels felt, but the flex points are still very similar, and it still wraps around the ball really, really nicely. As far as stringing, they upgraded from 12 stringing holes to 15, which is a big jump. I didn't have much of an issue stringing the Duel 1, but I really only had one pattern that I could get to work well and used it for pretty much every single one that I strung. Here you've got more flexibility, new shape, and they have them more consistently throughout the head down to here, and then they skip a couple so that it stays durable where the flex points are. But upgraded 15 stringing holes, gonna be great. This one's strung really, really well. I got a great pocket with my first try. We'll put this pattern in the description if you Duel 2 guys are looking for a good one. But it's just a nice shifty pocket, good channel. It's gonna throw really well and also pop the ball out really, really well. All right, guys, so that's it as far as what's new on this head. I think they did a really good job. It's a 2 upgrade, and they fixed pretty much every problem people had with the original Duel. So if you like this, you're probably gonna like this. Again, go check out those other reviews to see how it works in real practice face-offs. Check out the link in the description if you wanna grab one. Like if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't, and have a great day.